episode. I am super pumped for this one. I think I mentioned in my last reading vlog for, what was the book? Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. I think I also mentioned it in my mid-year freakout tag. There was a question in there like, what sequel are you most excited for this year? And this is it. So, it is a science fiction book. It is called A Prayer for the Crown Shy. It's by Becky Chambers. This is the second one to A Psalm for the Wild Bill. So this follows sibling Dex, that is our main character. They are a non-binary monk traveling around in the woods in their ox cart. I forget what it's called. I think it's called an ox bike. And it's about them and their robot friend named Mosscap, who you meet in the first book. Honestly, even if you're not a fan of science fiction, they're soft sci-fi. It's more about their relationship, like the human and robot relationship and kind of their journey together and that sort of thing. There's really not a lot of like sciencey talk or anything that could put you off. Plus they're literally like 150 pages. They go by like that, like they go by in a flash. I've only read the first chapter and already the words are just like dripping from the page. There's just so many, it's like to the point where I could write down every sentence, but I can't do that, so I have to be like very particular about what I'm writing down. But anyway, very excited for this. Stay tuned for updates. What's up, guys? So time for a little reading update. I was gonna do it outside because it's a nice beautiful sunny day, but it's hot. It's really hot out there. So where's the book? So I'm really trying to make this thing last because I feel like I don't know if I waited a full year. Maybe I'll put on the screen like the publication date for the first one, and then I'll figure out how long I had to wait for the second one to come out because it just came out on July 12th. But oh my gosh, I am loving it just as much as I thought I would. It's super short. Like I said, I'm trying to make it last. It's 150 pages. I feel like that's such a long time to wait for a book to come out, and then it's like I could smash that in one sitting if I really wanted to. But I don't want to because I don't know if there's going to be a third one. I don't know when that one might come out. It has all of the magic and the warmth that the first one had. I have been loving it. The relationship between Dex, sibling Dex the monk, and Mosscap the robot, which is like what the books are called. That's what the series is called, Monk and Robot. Their relationship is as strong as ever. I'm not going to give too much away, but seeing their interaction is really wholesome, and Mosscap is like a little kid. He's so curious about the world. Every little thing that he passes, every little leaf and butterfly he wants to like stop and look at. Dex will get kind of frustrated sometimes, which is funny. So you have those little humorous moments in there that kind of keep it light because some of the themes are pretty heavy. One of the things that happened recently in one of the chapters is Mosscap, one of his parts, like internal working parts, I can't remember if it falls out or it breaks, it malfunctions somehow. And then the whole issue of how to replace it, like replacing it is easy, but does he want to, or does he want to naturally break down? He's already not like other robots, and so he wants to deteriorate more, maybe like a human would, like how our bodies eventually break down and we die. And so there's this whole kind of existential crisis that he goes through of like how to replace it, if he wants to replace it at all. I am obsessed with the society that they live in, like the current state of the world. It's almost like, which I don't want to bring politics into it too much, but it's almost like, I feel like the closest thing is maybe socialism. It's very much like everybody, whatever you're contributing is for the benefit of the community. Becky Chambers even breaks down the sort of payment system. They don't like to call it money in the book, but it is essentially like a form of like trading or payment, and they're known as PEBs, which is short for digital pebbles. And you can give them to somebody if they help you out with something, or if you help with somebody, they can give them to you. Dex, the character, uses the example of like, if you're hungry and a farmer gives you an apple, you don't have to repay them with a PEB. You could not repay them if you don't feel like it in the moment, or if you don't have one in the moment. You could sort of like go like 1 PEB negative if the apple costs 1 pebble, and then wait until you do have some racked up. And you're not expected like to save them, you're not expected to spend them, and all of it's made public. So it's not like how money is now, where it's a very private thing and it's almost like secretive or shameful sometimes to talk about money. It's very open. It's a really interesting concept. There's so many unique concepts in here. I think that's part of the reason why I'm so obsessed with them. I think I have 2 chapters left, and I'm just gonna try to zip through them tonight because I do want to finish. I do want to see how it ends. And I feel like it's already been a week. I'm trying to only read like 1 chapter a day because I'm trying to make it last. But I am ready to see how it ends, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish it tonight. Alright guys, you've made it to the end of the video. It is time for my final review for A Prayer for the Crown Shy. I feel like I said a lot in my last update, and I still feel all of those things, but now I know the end, and it was a good end. I liked it. Very pleased with this one. I gave it a 5 out of 5. So I've just got my book annotating journal here. You guys have seen this before, unless this is the first video that you're watching of mine. So I'm just gonna kind of go through some of the highlights. First of all, the writing, that's my favorite thing. Not even the storyline necessarily, but, well, the characters for sure. I love Mosscap. He's so adorable. He is, I think I said this in my last update, but he's so curious about everything. He wants to stop and look at every little thing. He's like a 3-year-old, but like trapped in a robot's body. I said the writing, this is gonna sound really dramatic, but I feel like it genuinely is gonna like calm your anxiety if you're someone like me and you know, being around a lot of people can be really overwhelming, and obviously reading is very calming. And I feel like books like this really help because this writing style, the descriptions of the natural world are so rich. Like, for example, the first village that they come to on their travels, it says, so it's a town called Stump. It's named after like the biggest stump or the biggest tree that was cut down at one point. It says, Stump was characterized by nest-like tree houses, hanging bridges, and the faint sulfuric smell of the hot springs that kept the place warm and powered. Now that's just one tiny example. There are so many sentences, and it's such a tiny book, so it's like, I don't know, kind of ironic. I feel like it really packs a punch. If you are someone who enjoys a nice descriptive sentence, then you will love this. There's definitely some themes in there of like humans versus technology, because the book is set in a time, it doesn't have an exact year or date or anything, but it's set in the future at a point that's just referred to as like post-factory age. So it's like definitely after our time. And so you get a lot of interactions between people who almost live like how we think of like Amish people. A lot of them live definitely without like phones and computers. Some of them even live without electricity, and they build skylights into their buildings, and they don't do any work after it's dark. A lot of humans have decided to live like that again. And so Moscap, then his presence, him being there in that village kind of creates some tension. So the sort of like human versus technology, people who are weary of AI, those themes really come up, which I like because they're not over-explained, they're not kind of pushed down your throat, it's just kind of there. You don't even have to kind of read between the lines. It's pretty obvious, even though they're not necessarily directly stated. People are very suspicious of intelligent technology. So it's interesting reading a book that kind of jumps past the robot uprising and all of that and puts you in a time in which we're sort of healing from that and we're no longer relying so much on technology. Chambers has really envisioned a beautiful world. I would love to live in this world. Everybody has, a role that they play, and it's not capitalism anymore, essentially. We've sort of gone past that and moved into something that's much more beautiful and wholesome. And I just feel like even if you're not a science fiction fan, you're really gonna like them, and I highly recommend them. And they're so short, I feel like everybody should read them. Sarah Gailey, who wrote The Echo Wife, which is another really good science fiction book that I recommend, she blurbed it on the back. She said, "The writing is tender and healing." And I feel like those are perfect descriptive words. I would definitely add like soft, lush. Those types of words really describe the writing. In my book annotating journal, I said that the world that Chambers has created is very lush. I said the words are swimming in honey. The books genuinely calm my anxiety. The world she's created is truly a utopia. She excellently balances soft, sweet moments between monk and robot with broader esoteric questions about life, death, humankind, eventual extinction, and what it means to be there for your loved ones. I love when a writer can make you feel something so deeply for a character that's not even human. I think there's a special kind of talent in that, so let me know in the comments if you love them as much as I do, or anything that's similar, because 100% I would read something that is very like these. So thank you guys for watching. Drop me a comment, let me know what you want to see next, and I will see you next time. Bye.